Josh Kelly, welterweight, currently 6-0, fighting for the Commonwealth title. Follow Sport Icons.
Alright, so a very good fight has been announced by the PBC, which will be shown on Fox pay-per-view. And Al Heyman is desperate to keep hold of pay-per-view for as long as he possibly can. And it will be on March the 16th at the AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. So 16th of March. And Errol Spence Jr. will defend his IBF World Welterweight title against the undefeated and definitely a pound-for-pound guy in Mikey Garcia, 39-0. So this will be Mikey Garcia's, well, he's jumping up 2 weight classes, and I know a lot of people who really want to give Errol Spence credit because they previously didn't give Triple G credit for beating Kell Brook. They didn't give Canelo Alvarez credit for beating Amir Khan, and they didn't give Vasyl Lomachenko credit for beating Rigondeaux. But they don't want people to go, but actually, okay, so we criticise those fights, but I don't want to criticise this fight because I like Errol Spence Jr. That's their mentality, okay? So what they want to do is say, well, Mike Garcia, he did have a fight or two at 140, so he's only moving up 1 weight division. No, he's not. He didn't like making 140 pound because he was flabby, he was off, he was sluggish. He got the wins, but he didn't look too good. So to move up to 147, listen, he's a natural 135 pounder. That's his optimum weight. So 147, expect a pretty flabby Mike Garcia. Now, he doesn't have to come in at 147. He can come in a bit lighter than that. It's not really an issue. And hopefully he does, because if he's going to go in there with an extra 7 pounds on him, it may slow him down. But Errol Spence Jr. versus Mikey Garcia, I'm okay with this fight. Much like I was okay with Triple G Kell Brook, I was okay with Lomachenko versus Rigondeaux, and I was okay with Canelo versus Khan. So I can't criticise this fight. Well, I could, but I won't. And it's perfectly fine for me. Now, I know a lot of the Errol Spence fans are saying that, what, Terence Crawford ducking him and whatever. Oh, come on. Listen, you see, again, these same guys will say that it's undisputed. We want undisputed. Everything should be unification. There should be no exceptions and blah, 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 blah. And then Errol Spence Jr. goes and takes on Mikey Garcia. A very, very small fighter. An excellent fighter, by the way. And it was Mikey Garcia who was calling out Errol Spence Jr., not the other way around. So let's not get that one twisted. But I think that Errol Spence Jr., should he not have been going after Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, and Terence Crawford? Out of 3 other champions, he couldn't get one of those. Keith Thurman doesn't seem too interested in fighting anybody, really. And for the fact he's been out for quite some time. Sean Porter probably would, but I think it would cost a lot of money, and he would want to be the A side because he's WBC champion. There's like a lot of emphasis on being WBC, so being WBC champion, he would want to be the A side against Errol Spence Jr., right or wrong. So that one would be quite a difficult fight to make, although it is in-house. But Terence Crawford would be the one. Terence Crawford, Bob Arum want that fight. Errol Spence Jr. clearly does not. In fact, he would rather go and fight smaller guys. But still, dangerous. Now, Mikey Garcia, as good as what he is, should not be able to beat Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. should be able to weight bully him. That's exactly what he should be able to do. He should be able to bully him around the ring. The size difference should be evident in this fight. So if Mikey Garcia gets a win over Errol Spence Jr., this is not a good look. So in some ways, it's a risk for Errol Spence Jr. because people are going to say, but hang on a minute, you've got this guy who's moving up 2 weight divisions, formerly a couple of divisions lower than that even, has come up and whooped you. Clearly, you're a hype job. So it's a very, very dangerous risk for Errol Spence Jr. in my opinion, because as I said, if he loses, people want to go, well, clearly you're just a hype job. You should not be losing to these kind of guys. No matter how good they are, you should be able to bully them around the ring and take their shots and keep on marching forward. It shouldn't be a problem. Much like Vasyl Lomachenko did with Rigondeaux, even though they're both predominantly the same kind of weight, but Lomachenko, he wanted to go through the weight divisions, but still, the size showed. Triple G versus Kell Brook, the size showed. Now, Kell Brook did give Triple G some work in that fight, but ultimately he did what he was supposed to do. He ended up stopping and breaking down Kell Brook, much to my dismay, okay? So, yeah, I wouldn't give Errol Spence Jr. too much credit for beating Mikey Garcia at all. But at the same time, I'm interested in the fight, if that makes sense. So I don't dislike the fact that he's fighting this guy. For me, listen, if you can both get in the ring on the same kind of weight, or both get on the scales at the same kind of weight, whatever happens in the next 24 hours is whatever happens. Fact is, you're on an even playing field. Mikey Garcia doesn't have to do this. He wants to do this. There are plenty of other fighters out there. Against Vasyl Lomachenko, that will be a much bigger fight than what this one is. Now, these guys are going to be fighting at the AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. By the way, AT&T Stadium is a capacity of 100,000. Can they fill this stadium of 100,000? Now, the only time I've ever seen this stadium filled up was for a WrestleMania. Okay, that's the only time. I don't quite know what they do at that stadium, to be honest. Is it football? Is it baseball? I have no idea. But 100,000, that is some serious numbers. Now, I know that these guys have a huge fan base in Texas, Dallas, all that kind of thing. So maybe they could do it. I mean, that would be something else. I mean, can you imagine that? 100,000 people ram-packed to the rafters. No, actually, sorry, it would be more than 100,000 because it's 100,000 capacity seating. Then, of course, you have to have it on the pitch as well, on the grass, around the ring. So that's going to be over 100,000. You're probably talking 110, 120,000, potentially. Could you imagine that? Imagine the spectacle of that. That would be unbelievable. But this is boxing and this is America. Could they find 110, 120,000 even to fit into that arena or stadium? Could they do that? I mean, when was the last time a boxing match was in a stadium in America? My mind goes blank when I think of it. So this is fantastic. So listen, even if it doesn't work, even if they can only get half, that is still 50,000. That is phenomenal. But whatever they do, at least, you know what, we have to give them credit because at least they tried. They tried to be brave. They tried to, you know, they got this arena with a capacity of 100,000+ and they give it a go. Now, hopefully the tickets are not stupidly priced. Otherwise, you ain't selling it out. You need to be doing some reasonable prices, PBC. You really, really do. So you've got 3-4 months now to make a real statement. So put those tickets up at reasonable prices. If you start charging them like minimum $100 or $150, you're not going to do that well. You need to be doing the cheapest seats at, say, $40 to $50 around the upper tiers and building that way. So hopefully that's what they do. Hopefully the PBC don't get greedy, much like they have with Wilder vs Fury. I think that the ticket prices there are stupidly priced, and hence the reason why, or at least one of the reasons why, it's struggling to sell gates. It really is. But hopefully this one, Errol Spence Jr. versus Mikey Garcia, is going to be a complete blockbuster. But it's going to be a very one-sided fight. I think Mikey Garcia is going to run rings around him for the first couple of rounds until Errol Spence Jr. hits him. If he hits him in the first round, it could be over in the first round. But as soon as Errol Spence hits him, and he will hit him at some point, you would imagine, especially with a body shot, and slows down Mikey Garcia, especially if he's carrying a bit of extra timber, as in not muscle, but a bit of flab, like he did against Adrian Broner, and he gets hit to the body, expect Mikey Garcia to be taking a knee and gassing pretty early in that fight. And that's going to be Errol Spence Jr.'s game plan. Slow him down by body shots, trap him, knock him out. That's exactly how it's going to go. But as I said, if Mikey Garcia can pull off the upset, wow. I mean, wow. I mean, who could actually deprive Mikey Garcia? I mean, already, I mean, he's up there in the pound for pound. I'm not a great believer in pound for pound, but he's way up there. But by him moving up another weight class to beat Errol Spence Jr. for another title, you got to be putting him. I don't know, if people have him as number one, listen, bravo. Bravo. I wouldn't go against that at all. I wouldn't argue with people who have Mikey Garcia as pound for pound number one. But a win for Errol Spence over Mikey Garcia, that should do nothing for the rankings of the pound for pound, because you've just beaten a small guy. Okay? But anyway, that's what's going on. Saturday, the 16th of March, 2019, at the AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, United States of America, in front of 100,000+ spectators. And of course, on Fox Sports pay-per-view, Errol Spence Jr. will defend his IBF World Welterweight Title against Mikey Garcia. Drop your thoughts below, click that thumbs up, and of course subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.